Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you are here watching me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, where every week we bring you information that you or someone you know needs to know about. So I want you to hit the like button, the share button, the bells and whistles. This week's episode will be a little bit different than many of our other episodes. We want to share some information about our organization with our community. So please share this information out. Now, you know, as a nonprofit, we can't do this without the support of our sponsors and our donors. So a huge thank you to Point 32 Health Foundation, United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, and of course, McCarthy Law, our sponsor for Friday Friends. Here's a minute with McCarthy Law.
Here at McCarthy Law, we practice in the areas of estate planning, long-term care planning, elder care law, and residential real estate. Our focus is really on providing peace of mind to our clients.
If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with our office, you can feel free to reach out to us at 401-541-5540. You can also reach out via website at www.mccarthylawri.com. You also should check out our social media, both on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for some helpful tips and tricks.
So everybody, it is January 24th of 2025, and there have been a lot of changes that have happened this week. As you know, we have new elected officials in Washington, and there have been executive orders that have altered a lot of beliefs around diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility. And maybe beliefs is the wrong word. There are actions being taken to eliminate the laws that protect individuals who have a disability. The laws are being revoked that ensure equity, that ensure inclusion and accessibility. But here's the thing. Aging isn't just about getting older. It's about the experience that shapes us, the opportunities we get, the barriers we face. And when we think about DEI, we're talking about how all of these factors intersect with race, gender, sexuality, ability, socioeconomic status. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about why DEI is not only important in aging, but essential to creating a society that's truly inclusive for everyone as we grow older. Aging isn't a one-size-fits-all, okay? Your experience is different than mine, is different than the person standing next to me in the grocery line. Everyone's experience is their own. And if we don't actively promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, we risk allowing those disparities to get worse. For many people, getting older can mean facing more challenges, like health issues, okay? Or financial insecurity. And when you think about the finances required to get the care that you need as you get older, the amount of finances you have are often very related to what your economic available options were in your working period of time. And the reality is, for most people who are over the age of 65, they don't have enough information, enough resources to meet their care needs. Now you add in historical and systemic racism, sexism, ageism, and it compounds the problem even worse. And for some groups, like our friends in the LGBT community or our Black and Brown friends, those with disabilities, the challenges of aging independently are often magnified. Now let's take a closer look. So studies have shown that older Black, Indigenous, and people of color, the BIPOC community, often face worse health outcomes and less access to healthcare compared to their white counterparts. We saw this data play out over and over during the COVID epidemic. There is a lack of access in many communities. Now, across the board, we are all, every single one of us, facing a healthcare workforce shortage, but that's a conversation for a different day. But all of us are facing these challenges, but it is particularly acute in our BIPOC communities. And on top of that, they're navigating systemic barriers like lower wealth accumulation. Refer back to those opportunities for equitable pay and equitable work. And remember, even today, a woman working in the same job as a man is not getting paid the same amount of money. And many times, it is the woman who is expected to stop and stay home to care for family members in need. And that hurts us economically as well. And that's continuing right now. And that doesn't change with any of the executive orders that have come out this week. So when you think about individuals who are from the BIPOC community or the LGBT community and navigating those systemic barriers and lower wealth accumulation options, these things impact their access to the things like affordable housing, nutrition, and overall quality of life. If you think that this isn't accurate, I challenge you to go into the communities where individuals have a lower socioeconomic status and look for grocery stores that actually offer fresh fruits and vegetables. When you think about access to nutrition, if you are on the outskirts of this state and you lack transportation or you lack someone to help you get to the store, finding nutritious food becomes really challenging unless you have the finances available to, say, hire a cab or a paid driver. These are things that make a difference. Now let's talk about ageism, because yes, it's a real thing. And we saw a lot of ageist language in this last election process, okay? People can face discrimination as they get older, but you add race or disability to the mix, and that discrimination gets even more complicated and harder to address. Whether it's in the workplace, try getting a job when you're over 65 and see how quickly or how not quickly it takes to get a job when you're over 65, because ageism in employment is alive and well. And at healthcare facilities, or even in social spaces, older people, especially from marginalized communities, often find themselves fighting against multiple layers of inequality. And don't forget about our friends in the LGBT community. Older individuals in the LGBT community often face compounded challenges of being in a world that has for so long stigmatized their identities. Many don't have children to support them in their later years and may have additional isolation or even discrimination from healthcare providers who aren't trained to be sensitive to their needs. There's been an awful lot of hate speech coming out around gender and gender identity, gender expression, and who people love. It is not okay. So why does DEI matter when it comes to aging? Simply put, it's the key to dismantling those barriers. It's about creating an environment where everyone, regardless of who they are, has access to the resources they need to live a healthy, fulfilling life as they age. And let's not forget the aging population is growing. Might have heard something about that. In fact, by 2050, it's expected that nearly 1 in 4 people in the United States will be 65 or older. That means we need to think now about how we can design policies, healthcare systems, community spaces that are truly inclusive for all aging individuals, no matter race, gender, background, ability, creed. It doesn't matter. We need to create these spaces. And that can look like investing in age-friendly housing for people with disabilities, providing culturally competent care for older immigrants or refugees, or ensuring that the LGBT older adults feel safe, respected in long-term care settings. It's about creating spaces where everyone can thrive as they age and where we're not leaving anyone behind simply because of their identity. I know it can feel like a huge challenge, but the good news is more organizations are focusing on the intersection of aging and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Those agencies are facing challenges with this week's executive orders, with rumors, and albeit it's rumors, that there will be national changes put forth to eliminate programs that make diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility part of the fabric of our country. So it's absolutely critical that we have healthcare providers become more aware of the importance of cultural competence, that there's a growing movement for accessible, inclusive aging initiatives at the community level. As I've had on the show before, we have a skyrocketing population who are older adults who are becoming homeless. They need accessible housing. We need protections to ensure that that is something that is even on the plate to be considered. As we see with the executive orders coming through, that consideration is trying to be erased. And at the end of the day, promoting diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility in aging isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about making sure we all have the chance to grow old with dignity, respect, and support. It's about building a society where people don't just get older, they get better in every way. I want you to know, here at RI Elder Info, we remain committed to serving all Rhode Islanders, regardless of what race, ethnicity, language, country of origin, the gender you identify as, and the people you love. We are all in this together. And here at RI Elder Info, it is a safe space where we are committed to ensure that we are all aging as independently as we possibly can. We remain committed to serving all of Rhode Islanders. So when you go on our website, when you visit us at events, when you call us on the phone, we're here for you, always. And we are going to work to ensure that everyone can age in the area that they want, in inclusive communities that affirm the care of the person that they are in the whole. So today's Friday Friends was a little bit different than many of the others, but there has been a lot of hateful rhetoric that has been coming out lately, and it is not acceptable. And so I wanted to interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to explain the importance of diversity and equity and inclusion and accessibility for each and every one of us as we get older. We can do better. It is our responsibility to do better. And RI Elder Info remains here advocating for all of us. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have comments, please feel free to put them below. give me a call, shoot me a text, email. It's okay. We'll be here for you. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and please be kind to each other. Thank you.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.